Welcome to Telly Talk, where we talk about what is on the telly, and by that I mean what's on our mind. Because we're Telly. I'm Tyler.
And I'm so sorry. I'm so.
You sure?
Actually, today I'm
Otto.
I'm Otto today.
Today you're Otto, because
I'm
today
Otto
we're
today.
talking about a man called Otto. You are a not man called Otto.
I could be.
Do you want to say what A Man Called Otto is about? Do you want to give a rundown?
This is one of my favorite movies ever. And it came out last year, I think. It's about a man called Otto who is perceived by all his neighbors as a grumpy old man.
It's based on a book called A Man Called Otto, I think.
I actually found an older version of the movie back in 2016. They made a movie called A Man Called Otto.
Yeah, I found the book at Half Price Books. And I read the back of the book, and it was the same plot, and I was like, oh, this is the movie.
Yeah, so A Man Called Otto is about a man called Otto. He's a grumpy old man who lives in his little house and does
We're very
the
sure is
same
autistic,
thing.
and you'll see why.
I know he's autistic. He does the same thing every day, and if anyone disrupts his little routine, he'll get mad and call them an idiot. And these new neighbors move in across the street, and they love him, even though he's grumpy and mean, and they care for him so much. And Otto is depressed because his wife, his beautiful, loving wife, died a couple months ago, and he wants to kill himself. The entire movie he tries to kill himself, unsuccessfully, because every time he tries to kill himself, something or someone needs help, and he just has to help them. He can't not help them. He just can't help himself to not help them. He
loves helping people. He has a very big heart, and that is the point of the movie.
Yes, and unfortunately he dies of his big heart.
I have a revelation for you. I have a revelation.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
I've already told you it, but you're gonna react to it.
Okay, yes, okay. Go ahead.
We were watching the movie, and my mom was like, you know, this is basically Up, but a live-action version.
Oh my god.
Isn't it?
Isn't it Up! Holy
because
shit!
It's a grumpy man. It's he doesn't kill himself in Up, but everything else, it's a grumpy old man, and he starts he actually has a really big heart, and there's animals, and there's he had a wife, and they wanted to have a kid together, and they had a nursery, and then they went to go see the waterfalls, and then the wife dies. It's everything about it is Up.
Oh my god, it literally is Up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love this movie even more now.
Because Up is such a good movie, and then this is also Up, but PG-13 Up.
Honestly, this is
live action. This is Up, but PG-13.
Oh my god.
Action.
Oh my god. This movie is now my number one favorite movie.
Not one of them anymore, just the one.
The one. Only one. I want to go over my list of reasons I know that Otto is autistic. I have...
For
What?
reference, when I was watching the movie, I took notes, and my second note was, I think he is autistic.
Oh, right away I was like, this man is literally autistic. And, okay, now I was sobbing this entire movie. I don't ever cry while watching movies. This was a first for me.
No, I'm shocked you cried, because I cry a lot when watching movies. I'm very emotional, but you don't.
But, it wasn't even shedding a tear. It was literally actively sobbing. I was hysterically crying watching this entire movie. And literally one of the main reasons why I was crying was not because he was trying to kill himself, not because his whole life is sad, was literally because he's autistic.
Because what?
He's autistic, and the reason I was really sobbing at the end when he died was because he went his whole life without knowing that he was autistic, and that is so sad, because when I figured it out, I was having a whole revelation and like looking over my life and being like, oh my god, that's why I did all these things and acted like this and was like perceived this way. That's why. And he went his entire life without knowing
why he was like
he was probably thinking all of his life like, oh my god, like why am I like
I'm like rude
this?
and don't know how to talk to people.
That's why I was crying. I'm literally crying right now because it's so sad.
He didn't get to know that's why he has all these like rules and
Yes.
like feels that things should be a
I
certain way.
feel so bad for him.
It was such a like a beautiful and sad movie. But yeah, I know you have your reasons, but I'm gonna go over my reasons real quick because I have less of them.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just the opening scene. Just go watch the opening scene and come back here. That's autism. That's autism.
Yeah, he's major Karen.
And they mentioned that he's always scheduling his day out, and that's a thing. And he's
he goes to the same place every time, orders the same thing.
And at the like end of the movie, they know, spoiler alert, they know that he like something's wrong. They know there's an emergency that he got reworded. They know that there's an emergency because it snowed and it was the morning and his driveway wasn't shoveled or whatever. But like he always would have his driveway shoveled, and that's so coded. It's like, oh man, something's wrong. He didn't shovel.
Yeah, just that like one little thing. It happened like early in the morning. Like, oh, he didn't shovel his yard at like 7:30 in the morning on the dot. He's dead. Something's horribly wrong.
Literally, like something's wrong. But then the movie has a bunch of flashback scenes. He's like old in the movie. He's like a 7-year-old man or whatever. And they have a bunch of flashback scenes to when he's like in his like 20s and 30s. And the flashback scenes are done beautifully. They're so well done. I'll talk about them more later. But in one of the flashback scenes, he's proposing to his girlfriend, and he doesn't, like, make eye contact when he proposes. He does it so awkwardly and, like, doesn't look at her. And then she, like, is like, okay, yes, but propose to me correctly. It was so cute. It was so adorable. The little boy doesn't make eye contact. He's a baby.
The Tom Hanks and, like, the younger actor play such fucking good autistic people. Like, they are so good at it. I don't know if they're actually autistic, but they're so good at it.
I don't care about Big Bang Theory, but that's how I feel about the little boy who plays Sheldon in Young Sheldon. Like, the child actor who plays, like, kid Sheldon in that show is so good at what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Like, he's playing an autistic kid perfectly.
So, I have 8 reasons why I know he's autistic. It would have been longer, but this time.
Paper? Is this written on a paper?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're autistic.
Listen, I write all my notes on paper because I like it better. Because I don't like
I'm
watching.
only friends.
What?
With autistic. I'm only friends with autistic people.
Yeah.
I think I have like 2 friends who aren't autistic.
And
I think my ADHD like goes well with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
think my ADHD meshes with the autism.
Yeah. Well, ADHD and autism have very, very similar traits. Like, super similar. Like,
yeah, sometimes my friends in college will tell me that I'm also autistic, but I don't relate to a lot of autism things. I don't think I'm autistic. I just think I have ADHD and OCD, and that, like, kind of makes it seem like I have autistic traits.
I had problems watching this movie this time because the site I watched it on, I couldn't watch it on Netflix because of the stupid household thing, so I had to use a different program, per se, not a good program. And this program sucked, and the movie buffered for at least 5 minutes, and then it would play for 2 seconds, and then it would buffer for 5 minutes. I turned on the movie at 11:30 in the morning. I think I got halfway through the movie around 4:30 in the afternoon. The movie's like, what, 2 hours, 2.5? How long was the movie? Like, an hour 45?
2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours.
And it took me like, it would probably take me 12 hours to watch the movie in total. So that was bad. So I just had to go off memory from watching it the first time, which was like 3 months ago. So my reasons that he's autistic list would have been so much longer if I actually watched the movie recently, but I didn't, so the list is pretty short. Anyways, reason number 1. He loves his routine, and he despises when people try to change it or disrupt it or like just do it with him or for him, because he has to do it his exact way or it's all wrong and he has to do it all over again. That is such an autistic trait. Autistic people love routines. We love them. If we don't have everything planned out hour by hour, like minute by minute, every single day, we will have a meltdown.
I do that. Wait, hold on.
We will have a meltdown.
You know how I do that thing in my phone, in my notes app, where at the beginning of every week, I plan out every single minute of my week?
Yes.
I've been doing that for like 4 years, and I don't know how people function not doing it, because I can't imagine not writing down every single thing you have to do, because then it's like, I think this is my ADHD hack, kind of, because it's like, I don't know how people remember the things they have to do without a very, very specific schedule. But if I have a task, I immediately schedule it. Like, if someone's like, hey, tomorrow at like 1, do you want to go, if my dad's like, do you want to go golfing tomorrow at 1? I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I'll go in my schedule and put 1 p.m. Tuesday golfing, and then I know it's a task that I'm going to do at that specific time. And I think this is an ADHD hack I do, and it works very well for me, but I like have to have every minute scheduled. It's like a mix of my ADHD and OCD, and that's what I was saying. Those two things like combine a lot to like make an autistic trait.
Oh yeah, like most of these reasons are just neurodivergent traits, but they're like stereotypical autistic traits that like, oh, if you told a person this, they'd be like, you're autistic. Yeah. So that's what they're like all. So if you like relate to this and you're like not autistic, you're probably just neurodivergent in some way.
Yeah, like that could be an OCD thing, that could be an ADHD thing. Like, he's doing it in an autistic way, because he, like, the way he reacts to it is, like, different than how I would react to it, because
when, like,
reasons,
someone...
and that's how you can tell.
Yeah, like, when someone, like, would, like, stop him and, like, or, like...
He'd
like,
get
when,
angry.
Yeah, he would get mad and be like, you're an idiot, like, leave me alone.
If it happened to me, I would get anxious. If my routine gets interrupted, I just, like, am anxious about not completing the task, which is why you can tell I'm doing it for an ADHD, OCD reason. But, like, you can tell he's doing it for, like, an autism reason.
I also get, like, anxious, but it's only when, like, I go shopping. Like, before I go shopping, I write down a list of, like, everything that I need to get, and if I go to the store and they're like out of that specific item, or like I can't find it, I'll start like freaking out and just speed walking around the store, because I'm like, fuck, I like need this item and they don't have it. Like, oh my god, I'm like freaking out right now. And sometimes when people like get off my schedule, I do get mad, but like not at them, just like at this situation that my schedule is getting all fucked up. Like, it's not their fault that like they're fucking up my schedule, but it's just like that my schedule that I planned is like crumbling, and I can't fix it.
So you.
Oh my god, I literally am Otto.
You. Join us in 2 weeks when we talk about the Barbie movie, and you can see why I think I'm Ken.
I'm a grumpy old man, and you're just a himbo.
Yes. I'm a himbo, and you're a grumpy old man. These are our personality.
I love this. Reason number 2, he struggles with expressing his emotions and feelings. His voice is very monotone. He can't like really say what he wants exactly, and he can't express his feelings towards someone. Like, that is such an autistic trait. Like, very monotone, expressionless traits are like, that's like, there's like 2 types of autism. There's like one that's like overly expressing everything, where you're like too emotional, and then there's the one where you just have 0 emotion at all, and that is me. I am 0 emotion at all. I have like resting bitch face. Like, my resting bitch face is my happy face, my sad face, my angry face, my I don't care face. Like, and that is Otto. Otto doesn't really have a happy face. Like, his happy face is his like angry face and his sad face. And because of that, everyone thinks he's grumpy and mean, but he's just autistic. He's not trying to be mean or grumpy.
He's blunt.
That's just who he is.
he gets angry easily and he's blunt, but he like so loves people and cares about people a lot. Like that's what I was saying when at first I was watching the movie. I was like, wow, this man just walks around complaining about things and like looking for reasons to be pissed off all day, but he just has a routine and he just notices it. He's not looking for things to get pissed about, just things make him pissed because he has this routine that he like needs things to go. And then even I was like, wow, he can't even stop complaining long enough to kill himself. But then at the end of the movie, after like learning about him more, I was like, oh no, he wasn't like complaining about things and like getting so pissed off he had to stop the act of killing himself to go like be pissed off. It's he cares about people and like wants to help them, and that's why he can never like kill himself, because he like cared so much about people. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with that idea.
Yeah, and like he an autistic trait is like we don't know that we're being like rude or mean. Like that's it we can't like read people, and we can't read like what we're saying. Like there's literally a line in the movie where the female neighbor, what was her name? I don't know. The Hispanic woman, she was like talking to Otto and he was being like kind of rude to her, and she went, "You're being rude to me right now, Otto." And he like turned around and looked at her and was like, "I don't think I'm being rude. Am I being rude? I don't think I'm being rude." And like that was like a genuine question. Like he was like, I literally, am I being rude? Like I can't tell that I'm being rude. Was that rude? And that's what I think all the time. I think that all the time.
I get the character, because in the nicest way possible, you come across rude a lot, and I don't think you mean to.
I don't. And I feel so bad when I realize, like, hours or days later that what I said was rude, and I'm like, oh my god, that was such a rude thing for me to say.
You're like, just like him, you're blunt and you get angry about things, and it makes you come out as rude, but you're not trying to be, you're just blunt and angry.
I don't mean to be. I literally,
you are this character.
Like, I don't mean to be, but
you're okay.
It just, like, happens. Reason number, technically 2.8. 2.5, 2.8. 2.5 was, he was grumpy at everyone. 2.8 is, he shows his love through actions and, like, writing things down rather than, like, physically or, like, in person. Because when he was like, when the Hispanic neighbor was like, "I want you to teach me how to drive," he was like, "No." And then like a couple hours later he like showed up and like threw his keys at her and was like, "Get in the car." And she was like, "Oh my god, yay!" And he was just like, "Get in the car."
No,
like she
like understands him. It was so cute.
Yeah, he like
she was never like mad at him.
He didn't even say anything. He was just like, "Get in the car, we're going driving." And he was like,
I missed this, but in my notes, but I wrote down a fourth reason he was autistic was like throughout the movie you see that he's very, very like hyper fixated on cars and like working on cars and like buying cars that he's interested in.
Oh yeah, that's my reason number 4.
Yeah, and like it's just like mechanics in general, like working on cars and bikes and trains, and like wasn't he like a mechanic guy? And
he was an engineer.
Yeah, like you can just tell, like that's the autism, the car's interest, and then being an engineer and fixing the bike, and like being interested in the trains and like building the counters. Oh my god.
Reason number 3, he keeps his environment pristine and the same, and he doesn't change it at all. Hates change. Very autistic trait. Hates change. Autistic people hate change. It's very hard for us to endorse change. Like when like the neighbors came in and tried to move like his stuff or like clean up his kitchen or like move his furniture, he was like, no, don't touch anything, like just sit here, I will do everything, like don't touch anything. And like when she was trying to like put his wife's jackets away, I feel like that was more of like just an emotional thing rather than autistic.
Yeah, that was like, that's my wife's jacket. Yeah.
But like it was still kind of like, oh, you're changing like everything, like don't touch anything. Reason number 4.
He was so autistic. You could tell like watching the movie. This isn't even like your opinion. It's like he was not autistic.
Like if you want good autistic representation, watch this movie. It's so fucking good. Reason number 4. His hyperfixation, his lifelong hyperfixation. Every neurodivergent person has like a lifelong hyperfixation that never leaves them. His autistic hyperfixation was engineering and cars. He went to study engineering in college. He was an engineer for some random company. Him and his neighbor, before they stopped being friends, were obsessed with these cars and would get new cars like every other month and like show them off to each other. And then one day he bought like a different brand of car, and Otto was like so mad at him for not getting the same good brand of car that they literally stopped being friends. And that was really funny.
So funny. That was so correct.
Also references hating change, because he changed the brand in what car they would buy. Reason number 5, his special little coin. Every autistic person has their little comfort item, their little stim toy. His little stim toy was his coin that his wife gave him the first time they met. And if anyone tried to take the coin or he misplaced the coin, he would freak the fuck out. Like when he went to bed and his coin like disappeared and he tried looking for it, he was like freaking out. He was like, oh my god, where's my coin? And it was just like on the floor beside the bed. He was like, oh my god, my coin. Thank God. Oh, I thought I lost it.
So attached to the coin.
And when he did the clown show for his neighbor's kids in the hospital, he gave his special coin to the clown, and the clown like switched out. Oh my god, literally my favorite scene. He switched out the coin for like a different coin and gave Otto back. Yeah, during the magic trick, he gave Otto back the wrong coin, and Otto noticed right away. He's like, no, this is it's supposed to be a 1967 quarter. This is a 1985. You give me back my coin. He was like, it doesn't matter, it's just a coin. And he's like, no, you need to give me back my coin, and literally beats up the clown.
Yeah, like that would be like a normal thing for like any person to get like emotional about, but like he was like immediately had like a very, very, very like
he was like no,
like an outburst at it.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like beats him up over it.
And he like noticed like the smallest thing. He was like, there's like no indent on George Washington's eye. Like my quarter has an indent on his eye. Like I would know. Yeah. Last reason I know that Otto is autistic. There are many more, but this is the last one that I could remember. He wears the same thing pretty much every day. Like his closet has literally the same clothes in it. He wears the same thing every day. Every autistic person has their comfort outfit that they wear for days on end and only change out of it when they have to like actually see people or go outside. On rare occasions. Because he wears his like jacket, he wears his like collared shirt and his nice pants and the same shoes. He literally does not change his outfit the entire movie.
No, you're so right. I didn't notice that, but you're like exactly correct.
I forgot about it too, and then I saw him in his jacket and I was like, he wears the same fucking thing every day. I relate to Otto on a physical, spiritual, mental level. I am Otto. Otto is me. Like, another reason why I was crying the entire movie is because I saw myself as Otto, and I saw myself growing up to be him. Like, I see myself sitting in a little neighborhood, doing the same routine every single day, getting mad at people for not following my routine, and just, like, being sad. Like, if I had a life partner that had passed away, I would do the exact same thing he would be doing. Like, I am literally Otto. And
yeah, you are him very much, but like a young, not like you're like a young version of him.
Also, he has like his little pet cat that is literally Jerry. If you don't know who Jerry is, Jerry's my ghost cat who just follows me. He's been following me around for the past 3 years.
He wasn't like a cat named Jerry that you had who died. He's just always been a ghost.
So my ghost cat Jerry is the same cat that's in the movie that Otto takes care of. He doesn't even like ask for the cat, he just ends up with the cat, which is exactly how I ended up with my cat, Gerald. He's a bitch. I love the trans kid. I love that Otto
Okay.
wasn't like mean towards the trans kid. He was very nice and sensitive.
Yeah, so the trans kid is like, so I liked a lot of things about like the way all of this connects. So him and his wife never had kids, and they wanted kids and they never had them. And then his wife was a teacher, so she worked with kids still, and that was like important, I think. Like, all this connects, in my opinion. And then you could see many times he was really, really good with the neighbors' kids. Like, they call him abuelo, and then like the woman said that he reminds like her of her dad, and like the little girls like draw pictures of him and call him their grandpa, and like he does little voices when he's reading them stories, and it's like they made up, like they would hang up pictures of him in their house. It was like he made a new family for himself. And it was really funny, like this woman's husband, and how bad he was at everything, and he's just stupid, and the fact that she was just so loud is like kept him alive. But and like that's how they met. But he made like a whole family for himself, and he's always good with kids in the movie. And then his wife was a teacher, and when she was a teacher, she had a trans kid in her class, and I thought that was really sweet, that like she was the first teacher to accept him and like not like bully him and stop like the other people from bullying him, and like have everyone use his new name, Malcolm. And then, like you said, he was never weird about it. He was just like, oh, you're Malcolm now. Cool. You want a car? Like, you're my son now. Like, he wasn't just good with the neighbor's kids. He was good with, like, he was parenting him. He taught Malcolm, like, how to fix a car, and, like, gave him his own car and fixed his bike for him, taught him how to fix his bike, and, like, gave him a place to stay when his dad kicked him out. And he, like, wasn't weird about his dad kicking him out. He was just like, oh, your dad's transphobic. That's shitty of him. You can stay here. And, like, he wasn't weird about it. He was just, like, accepted it because autistic people are so good about trans people.
We're kind of just like, oh, cool, whatever.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, you're Malcolm. Cool. Like, he was like, what's your name? Is that why your dad doesn't like you? Okay, you can live
Alright.
here.
Cool.
And, like,
Want to sleep on my couch?
they were like, yeah, he, like, kept parenting this kid, and they stayed really close for a really long time, and it's, I loved Malcolm so much. I followed the actor on Instagram, because, like, the actor's, like, trans and shit, and I thought it was cool.
Well, I mean,
And-
I feel like he would have to be.
Well, sometimes they don't hire trans actors, but he was, and that's cool. And yeah, I just like the character a lot, and I was really surprised that, like, you don't see a lot of trans guys in media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, trans men as characters don't exist very often. Like, they don't exist very often in, like, movies and TV shows. Like, there's one in, like, Grey's Anatomy, I think, and that's, like, the only time I can think of one existing. So that was really cool. I didn't know that going into the movie that would be one. And
I
that really
totally
surprised
forgot
me. It
about
was funny
him.
that I've never seen Grey's Anatomy, but I like know that exists. And I was watching it with my parents, which was awkward because I came out to them as trans like almost a year ago. And so that was awkward because they
Oh
said
my
that was my
God,
name, and they
it's
were
been a
confused
year.
in this grumpy old man. Yeah, August. This grumpy old man, and now it's July. Holy shit. This grumpy old man who has like such a strict routine and everything had no problem using this guy's name.
Nope.
And I was like, awkward. And even he was just like, you're Malcolm now. And I was like trying not to make eye contact with my parents.
We're like, wow, guys, see how fucking easy it is?
How easy it is?
It's literally not that hard. Wow. Anna was in the newspaper like 3 different times because he saved so many people and helped so many people, and
He was like a little
it's
like
so
this,
unexpected.
This micro celebrity influencer girl was like interviewing him and
Yeah.
like making him popular online. He had like millions of like views on like the internet with when he saved the guy. Like, everyone knows Otto.
It's so unexpected.
Right? Okay, I want to talk about the flashback scenes and the cat.
Okay.
So, the flashback scenes were so beautifully done. They kept making me really emotional whenever they would happen, and they would transition like with the dialogue and like the shot really, really well between like the flashback and the present moment. Like they transition them beautifully, and there kept being like parallels between them. And there was this one shot where like Otto, when he was young, was like buying a train ticket at a counter or something, and his reflection in the counter was his old self, even though it was like his young self was standing there. That was beautiful. It was like a blink and you miss it thing. My mom didn't see it. Me and my dad were both like, holy shit, that was such a good shot. And we like rewinded it to watch it again because it was just so well done. And there was like a parallel when at the opening scene of the movie when he's like trying to buy like the robe and it costs a little too much because they like cut too much. They like charged by the guard or whatever, and this guy's like, I have some change I can give you to like make up for it, and he's like, no, it's not about the change. And then but the guy offered him change, and then in the flashback scene he meets this girl, and the girl like doesn't have enough for a train ticket or whatever, and he's like, I have some change, and he offers her some change and she takes it, and then they start dating, and then they get married, and it's so sweet. And that was like such a nice parallel with like the change, and then that relates to like the coin being really important to him, even
He's
though
like, I don't need another special coin from a weird man like you.
I already have a coin. And it's like he offered this woman change, and then they like married, but then he turned down a guy offering him change. I don't know, it was the whole thing.
He like, I feel like he's the type of person who literally won't receive change ever. He pays exact every time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he literally refuses any type of change from anyone.
He's like, 27 cents, here's a dime and a nickel and 2 pennies. Okay, most important question. Other than Otto, was the cat your favorite character?
Yes. Second favorite, the cat.
He was such a good cat. Like, when he stuck his head out of the box, I remember thinking that it was really unrealistic when he was trying to catch the cat and he put a box down and he was like, get in the box, and the cat just wouldn't get in the box. I was like, this is so unrealistic. A real cat would immediately jump into the box.
That is...
A real cat would get in that box right away.
So
this
true.
is unrealistic.
Well, he's an outdoor cat.
Any cat would get in the box right away.
I don't know, outdoor cats are very suspicious.
Fuck. Any cat box, they sit. If it fits, it sits. They go in box.
If it fits, it sits. That's so true.
If it fits, it sits.
That's my motto.
When he was, you are a cat. You are Jerry and Otto combined.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the cat shaking his head out of the little box was so fucking cute, and I loved the cat very much. And I was so worried he died when he froze to death, and I loved that like he took him in and then like assigned him to someone else to take care of when he died. And the weird tracksuit guy with the cat was so odd. What was his name? Jerry?
No idea.
I think it's Jimmy, not Jerry. Jerry's our cat. Jimmy with the cat. He was funny because he was just like, oh no, I forgot I'm allergic to cats, and he's like trying to pick him up. And he was just like, come here, little guy. Okay, favorite character that's not... Favorite, like, random neighbor. What's your favorite random neighbor? Because
favorite random neighbor,
not like the family or Malcolm. Malcolm's my favorite character, and Otto's your favorite character, and we both love the cat, and we like the family, but who's your favorite random neighbor? I relate to the dumb husband a lot. The dumb husband is me. But...
That's so true.
What's your favorite? Thank you. They called him an... Otto was like, your nitwit husband. That was so funny. He can't do anything, but it's keeping Otto alive. It's the reason Otto's still alive, is the husband can't do anything.
I barely remember any of the neighbors.
My favorite was, how do you feel about a spin-off about that woman with her dog and her gay boyfriend?
Oh yeah. They're great.
Yeah. There's a woman, and she's like a bitch, and she has like a stupid bitchy dog, and then her boyfriend's like this really gay guy.
But he's not gay.
I want to know what their daily life is like.
I really like the black woman who's married to his ex-friend.
Oh, she
was so nice and so loving, and Otto like genuinely cared for them and helped them with their situation. She was so nice. I loved her. Didn't he like go over there to ask her for like their ladder so he could hang himself? or was that... I feel like he definitely went over there to ask him for a hose? No, I think he went over there to ask for his hose back so he could go sit in his car and died from carbon dioxide poisoning.
Oh, that's what that was. Yeah, I forgot about that. The flashback scenes during that were so emotional.
I don't remember.
Oh my god. No, the flashback scenes were like making me cry. How they related to him killing himself. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you rate this movie out of 5?
17 million.
I know the answer. It's your favorite movie ever.
17 million.
Easily 5 stars. No, this was a really good movie. I'm also gonna rate it 5 stars.
5 stars.
This is
Our first 5 out of 5.
our first mutually agreed upon 5-star movie. That's impressive.
Wow. I honestly thought that would never happen. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Telly Talk. We post every Friday this podcast. We also post regular videos every other Tuesday. If you'd like to watch those, please. They're very entertaining.
We're funny. We have like skits and vlogs and ranking tier lists and everything you can think of.
Yeah. And if you want to listen to the podcast a day early, you can do that on exclusively Spotify. And you can find all these links in the description.
Be one of the exclusive people who hear our podcast early.
All
you have to do is go on Spotify.
Yeah. And a certain podcast in the future might be a super special one where it has us on camera. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We post funny videos there, and you might get like a little sneak peek or some cutouts from our past videos and future videos. We also have a Redbubble where we sell stickers and other items from relating to past videos, like little inside jokes. Lastly, don't forget to fucking subscribe. Go subscribe right now. And you better watch at least one more video after this. Go click on the recommended one, the one on the credit scene. Go click on it right now. I'll be waiting. I'm gonna wait.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, we're watching. You have to click it right now. You better.
We're watching you. I know you can't see me, but I'm staring directly at the screen. I'm staring into the camera, into your soul.
Into your soul.
I can see you, even though you
I
can't
can
see
see
me.
you sitting.
The camera is being stared into.
Sitting in your living room, on your couch. I can see you watching our videos. You have
watching.
to.
And now you should be subscribing.
You should subscribe. And also click on another video. Comment as well. You have to leave a comment. You have to comment.
And share. Send this to someone who would think it was funny,
Yeah.
interesting. Anyone who likes movies or funny people or life.
Like,
Send.
if you're alive right now, share it.
This podcast is about not killing yourself. Don't kill yourself. Share this podcast instead.
Share it. Share it with someone you love.
Farewell.
Goodbye.